Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day. So, yeah, I'm coming back. So today, as I said before, I will do the topic one for you all, and yeah, and I realized that I'm not actually see the record video is already there, but somehow they are very quite slow because I do this one at night. So I try my best to finish so I can give to you all. Okay. All right. All right. What is this? Okay. In topic one is about introduction to human resource management. Supposedly this is the first topic that I should prepare to you all, but it's like a reverse back from three and one and two after that. Okay. So what is this? So of course this is like under toe of the human resource management, which is like the introduction part, and this is my email and my personal email, and I wish you to just contact me via of course our group WhatsApp official groups, okay, our subject, so it's much better to know about that. Okay, so what we should cover in our topic, okay, by the end of this topic the learner should be able to, number one, we will explain on the human resource management at work. So meaning to say we go into the details on, not so details, but the definition, what's mean HRM, and the second one, differentiate between the personal management and human resource management. What is personal management? Personal, as I told in topic three, which is regards to the people who are working in the human resource department. And what is the difference between this human resource management is about the process. So human resource management is about totally the process. And the third one, we will go into, we discuss the changing environment of human resource management and the changing role of human resource, how it's like will different, okay, and how it's changing. And we will discuss the proficiencies of the human resource manager, okay, and the the next one is discuss the proficiency. Okay, so we pronounce it is like proficiency. Okay, so the last one is explain human resource management and professionalism. So proficiencies mean like the capability as the human resource manager, what you can do and what you can't do. It's like we explain on it, okay? And let's we check each because it's so been wrap up under what we call as this my map notes, okay? Or the first one, if you can see okay, so the first one we can see that human resource HRM at work, the definitions of human resource management. So according to Prof. Maimunah, as I told you earlier, Prof. Maimunah is my one of the lecturers, and according what she said is human resource management is defined as the development and implementation of the system and the organization designed to attract, to develop and retain high performing works. So meaning to say, okay, when we talking about these things, okay, it's not just like based on the definition itself to say that this is like the process of development and implementation, but it's totally about the process how we want to make sure that we able to, I like to use the word 3R acronym, which is select the right people, okay, at the right place, at the right position, and at the right time. So how you want to attract, select the right people, and how you want to develop them, because when they entering the company, they not totally just become somebody. It's not just become like competent employees. Not totally, especially those the fresh graduate. So you have to start from the bottom. You have to start. from the bottom, from scratch, meaning to say I like the words that most probably I heard and read somewhere. Like you transforming and you transferring from the stone to gems. Okay, so not gems butter, peanut butter, but it's like gems. It's not germs, it's gems. It's you are just totally stone when you have no or nil experiences and how you want to actually develop, okay, through your experiences, you working, and you actually have this knowledge skill by having in the workplace environment. So when we talking about this thing, okay, I believe it's solely about how you able to make sure that you to work better. And if we realize, okay, this thing is not easy. What the best thing you can do is by to make sure that the development process will come from the company itself by sending you to training program and by having like mentor mentee, your surrounding, your environment, workplace, there is a senior, okay, will teach you how to do that work, and your colleagues too, okay, will guided you together. They not just left you alone. Of course, somehow you need some like independent to be independent how you want to do, and they want to see how the work been done, okay, by you yourself rather than show you. Some company they don't want to show you anything. They want to see how actually you able to whatever that you put in you put in the what we call in your resume, okay, in the plate of your resume, you have to show how it's look like in the reality. So whatever that you should put in your resume should be parallel and aligned. So there will be no like what we call just only flowery on the paper, but in the reality is just wind. You get me? So it should be together. And of course, to retain the high performing workforce to make sure that you're capable and excellence while performing a good job. And according to Dessler and Ford, in 2009, human resource is policies and practices on the people, okay, or human resource aspect of management, recruit, okay, means selection, you train people, you polishing people to become better and better, appraise meaning to say you want to come out with like how you make sure that those people capable, and you give some recognition so that is appraised and reward them with the betterments or benefits and another granted that they suitable and used to. So when you do something a good job, right? So as a human being, we feel that we've been recognized when people praising us. Okay, that is the human being nature. So we cannot just say no. I don't need some praise here. I don't need some recognition. It's like bluffing. So mostly people want some rewards. So it can be like monetary, non-monetary, or non-monetary benefits can be many more. But as long as you will be rewarded on that, okay? And that is the definitions. We're moving on to the second one, which is what is the difference between the personal management and human resource management. Okay, so um, okay, I think that this is HRM is referring to human resource managers because they have HR unit, which is personnel management. HRM is referring to managers. Okay, what is the personnel management or HR units? Okay, so number one, we so called as develop. Okay, of course, this personnel management or the human resource unit, the people working in human resource department, they used to develop, okay, legal, effective interviewing techniques. So those people will the team, okay, they will develop and of course every single development have to be aligned with the legal system in employment law especially. And of course, it should be effective. And of course, they so do with these techniques. Okay. And we cannot run away because they are team that used to do that. Okay. And of course, in HR unit, they are the train managers. Perhaps most probably they are executive in conducting selection interview. How to become executive? You can just like become, if you diploma graduates, you are human resource assistant. Okay, I want you to clearly out that. If you are executive, you are bachelor degree. Okay, and if you are bachelor degree and above, potentially you can become managers. Okay, and the third one, conduct interview and testing. Of course, we have to conduct the interview after we do some like selection interview. We conduct interview and testing. Testing means to say, like I mentioned in topic 3 before this, whether you have like psychomotor test or you have IQ test or maybe you have emotional questions test, EQ, and um what else? I think that they have EQ, IQ, and if I'm not mistaken, they have AQ, right? Okay. And send to the top 3 applicants to the managers for final interview. So whereas this might be the second phase that if you still remember in topic 3, whereby after the first phase, then you go to the second phase and they will check, do some cross check on references, okay? Who is your person that you are referring in your resume, and does the final interviewing and hiring for certain job classification. So this is done most probably by the personnel management or HR unit. So what is the task by the managers? Okay, the managers, of course, number one, they have to advise the human resource unit of the job opening. So they will be instructed by the managers because the managers already get some instruction or demand from the another department. For example, like marketing department. So I need 5 marketers, for example, head of department marketing. Okay, so they used to decide whether to do the final interviewing. So managers, human resource department, and also managers and of the marketing department. Okay, they used to have this final interviewing and receive interview training from HR unit. So if they so-called need some like how to do and how to ask the question, so they used to have the interview training because not all managers able to have this kind of skills, okay, to do interview training and interview process and do final interviewing and hiring where appropriate. So if you need some second phase or the final stage, so if you see that they have potential to have that, so you used to implement it. And they will review the reference information after that checking by human resource unit. And the last one, provide feedback to the HR unit on hiring or rejection decision. So managers in here is referring to the managers in the referring department. If let's say the marketing department is requesting the demand for the new staff, so marketing managers will liaise with HR unit or HR department. So if let's say this come from account department, so account managers will be liaise with HR unit. You cannot totally say that, okay, I want to do the interview, so just I will do selection. No, because they have to get some like a green command to the HR unit. Okay, because HR unit will conducting the interview sessions with the managers itself. And then we used to have the third one, which is the changing environment of human resource. So this is quite how to say that is very convent it's not controversial, but it's like some things to be human when come to the different changing environment of human resource management. Number one is talking about globalization. Okay, whatever that I used to lecture you today is like based on my reading, my research, and uh based on my, I can say, knowledge. Okay. So if let's say you have more, you can just add on and tell me, so I can have like jot down and noted it at somewhere. I used to welcoming any ideas from my students as well. Okay. All right. Of course, this will be referring to your manual as well. Okay, the first one where we're talking about the globalization and its implication. So when we're talking about globalization and its implication, is referring to the globalized world. Maybe you have heard the global village before words, right? So global village is referring to, even though it's so called as a village, but they still accepting something new, advances technology, and if you how you relate with the human resource management world. Before this, we noted that when maybe I can say like 30 decades ago, okay, um not 30 but 3 decades is equal to 30 years, which is most probably people go to work, they have to punch the card, okay, and they have to make sure themselves to be in the particular office workstation, okay. And right now, because of this globalization, time is changing, and the most impacted, if you realize, the globalization is uh, dominantly and dominantly conquering the world is during the pandemic. Okay, everyone is working. All the transformation from work to work at office, it's been changed from work to office and work from home. Okay, so can you imagine you have your own workstation, and me myself like this, I have my own workstation at my small room in here. Okay, so um working 24/7 hours per week, non-stop, okay, for your information. And um how to say that, you just using all the forms and using like we can say like before this we have punch card machine, right? But now we just only have the system to punch, whereby you have to log in into that particular system at the stipulated time and make sure it's 8 hours. And then 8 hours you have to log out and make sure that you at your residence. Okay, because the system can detect where is your place. Okay. So let's say I'm living in Kuala Lumpur. Let's say I'm used to live in, example, maybe Ampang. So the address should be in Ampang. Not Ampang or sudden you are at Shah Alam. So there must be question mark on that, right? So that is the globalization, and I can say that used to, for example, like um, I think that whatever the example I give today is related to all the four items that in this changing environment of HRM. Okay, I give also one example on the globalization, whereby in terms of technological advances. Before this, if you go to human resource department, a lot of filing you can see, a lot of file and a lot of process filing, and you can see every single, there is like headache to see all those filing, right? So what they do right now is just converting it into e-filing. So the so-called as human resource management information system. So all the particular details about the staff, everything is in your fingertips, and you just key in the staff number and everything just by your fingers. That is technological advances you can uh adapting to this thing. Okay, so this helps a lot, okay, rather than to have a lot of file manually to search. So everything in this e-filing. And of course, it will have the changes in nature of work. So people start work from home, and then they have like a flexible work. If you start at 9, you can go clock out at 6. If you start at 7, you clock out at 4. If you clock in into 8 and then you clock out into like 5 p.m. So as long as it's 8 hours, so that is in terms of nature of work. And regards to that, I realized they have a lots of like job rotation, okay? What else? Job arrangement, job advancement. Now, this is all terms that I will explain more in the future topics, okay? And um, we have a lot, okay? How the job flexibility is being done, okay? In nature of human resource. And of course, they have job shifting, okay? And how job sharing been done, okay? Meaning to say you can lessen the burden. But work from home is not lessen the burden, but it's like double the work, because mostly what been expected by employers is you work as like you work at office, whereby when you are at home, actually a lot of the challenges and routine time that you have to handle. At the same time, your routine work, at the same time you have to handle your kids, for those who have the family, and you also as a housewife and mothers and wife, everything you have to do three in one. And I believe that there will be like a rahmat there, okay? There will be lots of the things that will be potentially um there must be a wisdom on that, okay? And so call as the next one, changing changes in the workforce demography. So like in Malaysia, totally I can say that we have the flooding of the foreign workers. Not I'm saying about the foreign students, but foreign workers itself, because they believe that Malaysia is the heaven for work and income, especially to those developing countries like Pakistani, those Bangladeshi, Myanmar, or Indonesia. So they believe that this is the place that they can get a high income compared to their own country. So you can see that a lot of workforce demography is start to have in Malaysia, and not so called as in the part of the low level work, okay, or operational work, but so called with like even in management itself, even we can see in the professional work, okay, we can see that many workers, okay, doctors, lawyers, engineers, what else, teachers, okay, they used also come from the another counterpart country, because for example, like in India itself, they are very good in terms of their expertise. Some engineers from United States, okay, and you can see that is a potential that they have with these people, okay, and and I believe that this is what we call combinations of the workforce is actually something like new, but it a good in the good effect impact, it gives some like knowledge sharing on that. Okay, and um I can give some example like Lenovo company, IBM company. They have a lots like Chinese, Saudi Arabia, and some United States. They have a combination various of workforce demography, okay, in their company. All right, so we moving to the changing role of the human resource management, and you can see that they have a lot. Okay, under here we have strategic planning, and human resource management. I wish that you can read also your manual. And then we have creating high performance work system, outsourcing human resource activity, measuring HRM team performance, and managing HR scorecard. So what is this? Okay, the human resource management start to changing the role to have the strategic planning. What is strategic planning? Measuring that the company as well strategic goal For example, mission, vision, and goal should be aligned with human resource management. So it should be together. It's not one way, but it's two-way go. Okay. And this is important because I believe the company cannot moving it alone. They have together with the human capital itself. So the human capital is referring to the human resource management. Who you want to select the right people at the right place, at the right position, at the right time. And I go with the third point here, which is creating high performance work system, which is HPWS, which means that the more performance, okay, the more perform you are in your work is will be reflect to your performance. And when your performance is hiking up, automatically your productivity of the company also will be increased, and it will also will increase the work system. Okay, so it regards to your performance. If your work performance is better, improvise, enhance, automatically the work system will be productive. Okay, and outsourcing human resource activities in here meaning to say you will try to hiring a third party in order to do some HRM works at your workplace or department. Example, in topic 3, I told you many times on this, which is let's say the company do not have HR department. So what they did is asking the agencies like JobStreet, employment agency, in order to do recruitment process. So that is what we call outsourcing. You hiring third party like JobStreet to do job recruitment, and then when JobStreet able to get staff, potential candidate for you, JobStreet will actually ensure your company paying JobStreet commission. Okay, so that is outsourcing. And measuring human resource management team performance. So this is relates with the HPWS in here, high performance work system, because the performance will be based on the team. If the company is based on the team, of course, it's the group performance. And let's say the company is individual performance, is go with the individual. And let's say it's maybe go not only by individual or group, but they go by the department. So it will be go by department. Okay, and it's related with the HR scorecard. This one is under topic 7, if I'm not mistaken. We might be know what is the 360 degrees benchmark, whereby we use the scorecard on how we able to measure the performance of the staff. Okay, and I realize in this topic also they have some like the proficiency of the human resource HRM, and number one they have like criteria for a profession as human resource management. So they have like the content, whether define the scope of activity of HRM, and whether do they are support, do practitioners support the professional institute by becoming a member. They so do have that human resource how we call association, society. Dia ada macam persatuan lah. Tapi Miss pun tak not become a member because you must fulfill certain certificates on that. And contribution, what is the major contributions of the profession to society? So let's say maybe you become one of the what we call a members of the trade union, and then you're able to maybe fight for the rights, and by maybe fight for the increased pay. So that must be a reasonable action to the society. Okay, so the last one we have human resource management and professionalism, and it been stated here, not referred to page 4 because when I'm doing the compiling, the paging is already different. So I want you to look into here. Okay, so what is the potential you can become when you become you involve in the human resource. Number one, of course, you become a part of the employment. So you become HRP, human resource planning, recruitment, establishing the career movement policy. Okay, and of course, you become like training and development. You will become a part of holding some induction and providing skill training to the new staff and also current staff, and a lot of the development program to ensure that the employees remain and retain at the company as well. And we also have the payment or reward system. So developing a wage structure, establishing incentive schemes. And the next one, health and safety, organizing safety program, because automatically human resource will become committee of OSH. So to ensure that the wellness program, accident investigation, and also employee services welfare, overseeing the canteen facilities, provision of the transport if your company provide transportation to the staff, provisions of the recreational facilities. Let's say you have gymnasium, you have sports center, or maybe you have like a musola, and counseling room, okay, and maybe like you have like uh, potential like pantry, for example, and productivity improvement scheme, establishing and maintaining quality improvement initiative. Okay, there is some, and for example, like we have Kaizen tools and other similar program, and also we have industry relations. So how you handle those the grievance ni kutukan, something, and you dissatisfied relationship with the trade union representative, collective bargaining negotiation. This one will be on topic 11. Topic 10. We'll go deeper on this, and negotiation and preparing contingency plan for strike action. Let's say the trade union members sudden do strike, what you should do. So this is potential will be happen, okay, but this is overall about topics that we will learn in this subject, inshallah. So I think that is I'm stopped right now, and I hope that I can continue more on mashallah. I'm not going to the things that I mentioned to you is here. Make sure when you see my video, you also will see your slides. So every time, because I open another slide, so I forget to scroll next topic to you all, next slide to you all. So I hope this might be helping you a lot and beneficial to all. And thank you for listening up to my video. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.